D2 Word Life here with Rip, biggest Logan Paul fanboy tides.
Go fuck yourself just because you love Logan Paul, the trash can, and his trash bag as well.
No, I do not. No, I am not a fan of Logan Paul, Dominic Mysterio, or Liv Morgan. Is it bad? I knew exactly who you were talking about.
I wasn't talking about Dom or Liv. I was talking about his brother.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Don't even remind me about that.
Where was your mind going, buddy?
That fight was rigged. You cannot convince me otherwise, but we're not here to talk about what happened last year in November. Son of a bitch. Anyway.
He knew that you were also a fan of the other trash can with a lid.
No. That's you. But anyway.
Nope.
But anyway, we can insult each other all we want for this video, and yeah, it would probably be entertaining, but we got a review to do. And what I mean by that is we got to review Money in the Bank 2025. That happened on June 7th, 2025 in Inglewood, California, built from Los Angeles because Inglewood's on the outskirts of LA. At the Intuit Dome.
Yeah, it's right. It's bordering the outskirts. It's not technically on the outskirts. It's bordering it.
Yeah, it was at the Intuit Dome with an attendance of 17,069 fans. Reportedly, and the commentators for this event was your boy Michael Cole.
Nope, it's your boy Michael Cole.
Wade Barrett and Pat McAfee. And the
Two people that are stuck in that sausage.
What do you mean by that?
The Americano sausage.
Oh, jeez. And of course, the ring announcer for this event was Alicia Taylor. And I would love to give freaking goddamn Michael props. At least he was wearing a suit this time and not a freaking like tank top jersey like he did on Raw this past week.
That's because he lost a bet.
No one wants to see Michael Cole wearing a goddamn tank top. Especially an orange one if he had that. Imagine if he actually wore an orange tank top instead of like a freaking jersey on Monday last week. What would you think? I'd be looking at that and be like, oh my God. I'd be like, oh my God, we're doing this again. No one wants to see Michael Cole wearing orange.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't. It was crap back then, and it was crap, and it's crap now.
Nope, you still want to see it.
So yeah, I forget who sung America the Beautiful at the start of the show. I'm pretty sure someone will freaking comment that in the comments.
The finalist from The Voice.
Yeah. Whoever that is. But you know, afterwards we get to the opening package of the show, and then following that we get to the actual like start of the event, where the first match of the night was the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. And it was Roxanne Perez versus Rhea Ripley versus Stephanie Vaquer versus Alexa Bliss versus Julia versus Naomi. Yeah, this one was wild right off the get-go, and obviously I think it was Rhea Ripley who was a fan favorite going into this. Right? In recent weeks. And of course, at one point, freaking Perez and Julia double-teamed Rhea Ripley by burying her under ladders on the outside ring, you know, the same spot they used to do the Big Show years ago.
Yeah.
That we recently reviewed from 2010's Money in the Bank, and I'm just like, this spot seems familiar, right? But of course, Rhea Ripley eventually got out of it and dominated it most of the field here afterwards. Rhea Ripley looked like a badass in this match, not gonna lie.
She was.
And of course, there was a spot where I think Rhea Ripley was going for powerbomb, it got reversed into a Hurricane Rana where she ate nothing but ladder. Right?
Yeah.
And then a little bit later on, there was a ladder bridge between the turnbuckle and the ladder that was up in the ring, and then Vicaire did her signature like move where onto Rhea Ripley, sitting Rhea Ripley face first multiple times onto the bridge ladder.
The Devil's Kiss.
That's what it's called. And I just look at that, I'm like, yeah, there could be a joke to be said about how that move particularly looks. Right?
Just face fucking a ladder.
Yeah, and then freaking Bliss and Prez interrupted that, stopping Vicaire's momentum, but near the end, oh yeah,
they didn't stop it.
They just kept hitting the gas.
And then after Stephanie Valkyrie tried to climb, they both freaking stopped her.
Yeah. And then later on, freaking Prez performed a Code Red powerbombs on Naomi and Victor respectively onto the bridge ladders.
Well, Pop Rocks for Perez and the Code Red for Alexa Bliss. You have to get that correct.
Yep. Yeah, and then Rhea Ripley freaking nailed a Riptide on Julia off the ladder. Or rip Julia off the ladder, then perform the Riptide or the U on Julia. Yes, I have to say it. Right.
Well, also, Alexa Bliss hit
the Sister
Abigail on Perez
at the same time. So they're like, yeah, we could do this too. Which I'm like, okay, that looked kind of cool, right?
Is.
Yeah, and then freaking Bliss and Ripley, the two fan favorites in this match, fought on top of the ladder, but then Naomi out of nowhere tipped the ladder over, knocking them both off the ladder, and with no one in sight, Naomi climbed the ladder and retrieved the briefcase to win the match. Your thoughts on Naomi winning this chaotic Money in the Bank ladder match to start off the show?
It was unexpected.
And yes, Naomi...
She never really won Money in the Bank, and this was her 5th time entering Money in the Bank.
Yeah, and even though there were...
she's 1-5.
Yeah, and even though freaking Alexa Bliss won a Money in the Bank before...
1-4.
Yeah. And even though Alexa Bliss freaking won a Money in the Bank ladder match before in the past, Naomi was the most experienced with this match going into it.
Well, I also loved how freaking Michael Cole's like, oh, I got a message from Nia Jax. He's like, freaking Pat McAfee's like, yeah, you have your phone on 200 font. I can see it. And Nia Jax is telling me to shut up.
Insisting that Cole is blind, he needs glasses.
Yes.
Oh yeah, and apparently this event, the night it happened on June 7th of this year, was the 28th anniversary of Michael Cole first getting employed by WWE.
Well, also, it was funny as hell for the pre-show that they were saying, oh, no one's talking about how ripped Michael Cole is. I'm like, okay.
I don't want to think about Michael Cole's body shape.
That's what one of the freaking guys on the Countdown show right before the show started was saying. It's like, oh, no one's talking about how ripped Michael Cole is with that double arm pose that he did.
Sorry, when I think of Michael Cole doing the double arm pose, I don't think about the jersey he wore on Raw. I think about when he tried to do that same pose wearing the Orton singlet years ago. That was awful.
You were traumatized by the Orton singlet.
Yeah, that was awful. But anyway, your thoughts on this ladder match?
Guys, remember, you can post in the comments as well, Michael Cole in an orange singlet. He'll love it.
No. But anyway, my thoughts on this, it was chaotic. It was, I did not expect Naomi to win, even though she's been on a great heel run since March.
since returning.
Yeah. So it's like,
Well, I would have either liked. There was 4 women I was actually going for in that match. It was either Naomi, Valkyr, Valkyr,
Bliss and Rhea.
Mommy, or Alexa Bliss.
Yep. Man, the two I only predicted 2 to win, and that was freaking obviously Rhea Ripley and Alexa Bliss, but none of them won the match, which kind of shocked me. You know how big sellers of Mommy in the Bank replicas would have been?
Or the shirt, Mommy in the Bank.
Shit.
Which they still should fucking make.
Shit, if Rhea Ripley would have won the Money in the Bank and they came out with a Mommy in the Bank t-shirt, I'm pretty sure you would have bought it. Obviously.
Yes.
I wouldn't lie, I'd be tempted.
Yes.
But yeah, Naomi winning, that was a surprise, but it kind of makes sense. She had the most experience in this matchup. Now it's just a matter of which champion she's gonna cash in on in the future, and I have a feeling that Tiffy time may end at some point because of it.
She was also saying that she may cash it in on Becky Lynch
or Io Sky.
Yes. And Becky literally dared her to cash it in on her.
Yep.
So we'll see.
Anyway, the second match of the night, or our first championship match of the night, kind of is an interesting one because it's the Intercontinental Champion, the Trash Can, Dominic Mysterio, with Liv Morgan defending.
I still don't understand how they have an inanimate object as a fucking champion, but okay.
And he was defending the Intercontinental Championship against Octagon Jr., I guess, from AAA. I guess Octagon Jr. and Dominic Mysterio had a little altercation.
Well, this is how it went because it was LWO versus Pentagon Jr., Aerostar, and Mr. Iguana.
Yep.
And then after the match, it was a banger of a match anyways. If anyone saw it, they would say the same thing. The Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan could not keep their fucking mouths shut.
Nope.
And Dominic literally said, "Oh, so you're a fan of my deadbeat father," which upset Pentagon Jr. And Pentagon Jr. went and beat the shit out of him. They had to literally grab him in the ring as well. But he was still beating the shit out of Dominic Mysterio. And then Dominic Mysterio was like, "Oh, I'll see you at Money in the Bank. I'll even put my title on the line."
And it was Octagon Jr., but whatever.
I said Octagon Jr.
You said Pentagon Jr.
Octagon.
I heard Pentagon. But okay, anyway.
Pentagon, but I said Octagon.
This match was a short match. It showed pretty much the majority of it was Octagon Jr. kicking Dominic's ass, but
we'll be seeing more of Octagon Jr.'s fucking and probably in WWE at some point because he's gonna get that title from Dominic Mysterio or the Trash Can.
But yeah, Octagon was beating the Trash Can convincingly throughout most of this matchup. But let's face it, it was a really short match. Liv Morgan interfered, distracting Octagon long enough for the Trash Can to perform a 619 and a frog splash on the Octagon to retain the championship.
Yes.
Nothing really to be said here. Your thoughts on this short match?
It was a good beating of Dominic Mysterio.
Was it Dominic's best showing? No. Was it Octagon Jr.'s best showing? Well, I don't really watch AAA, but no. I would guess it's not.
No.
Did they have better matches?
They would have won if Liv Morgan didn't fucking interfere.
So
But that's the Judgment Day's fucking shit is, I'm going to interfere in the match.
So yeah, this really was the bathroom break of the night. I really hate to say that, but either way, it's like it felt more like something we could have seen on Raw, if I'm being honest. You know what I'm saying?
No, because Octagon Jr. had other matches he was doing in AAA as well.
No, I'm just saying in general, this felt like an average Raw match in general.
Not really.
Well, maybe it was. Others differ on it. But either way, Dominic retained yet again due to interference.
That's the only way. And then he says, "Oh, I'm the greatest intercontinental." Bullshit.
No. Dominic Mysterio is not the greatest Intercontinental Champion ever. That goes to Gunther.
No. Not even.
Oh, Gunther did held that championship for 666 days. I know that's a bad old number.
Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero were better.
But anyway, speaking of Intercontinental Championships, we go from the Men's Intercontinental Championship to up next the Women's Intercontinental Championship match, which saw Lyra Valkyria defending against Becky Lynch, with the match stipulation being if Becky Lynch wins, then Lyra has to raise Becky's hand. If Becky Lynch loses, then she can no longer challenge for the Women's Intercontinental title as long as Lyra Valkyria was still champion.
Yes.
And you kind of spoiled the ending when you said Naomi could go after Lynch, but we'll talk about this match anyway. I think everyone knows by now who won this match anyway, but we'll still talk about it. All right.
What doesn't matter? I was just saying she's saying that anyway. She said that before the match, anyways, in an interview backstage that she was saying, that Naomi was talking shit that if she won, that she would go for if Lyra won, she would go for Lyra. If Becky won, she would go for Becky, or go for Tiffy time, or go for fucking Io.
Yeah. But anyway, both women made their entrances, but during the introductions, Becky Lynch was the only one who had a proper introduction, because right after she was introduced by Alicia Dale, the ring announcer, she immediately attacked Valkyria before her introduction could be done, so that's how the match started.
Valkyria. You were saying Valkyria. It's Valkyria.
Lyra Valkyria. It's like Becky Lynch attacked Lyra Valkyria to get the match started before Valkyria could even get introduced.
It wasn't even a fucking introduction, right? When they were gonna be like, "Oh, the challenger, Becky Lynch," and Becky just starts decking Lyra.
Yeah,
it wasn't even a fucking introduction.
I mean, this one was a scrap back and forth. But anyway, this match was a scrap back and forth, including freaking at one point in the match, Lynch performed a manhandle slam on Valkyria from the metal rope, only to get a 2 count. Right?
Yeah.
And then I think at one point they were fighting on the outside, and Lynch hit a manhandle slam onto Valkyria on the outside of the ring, which she couldn't get Valkyria back into the ring, so she had to go back in the ring to break the ref's count, only to come back out and eat nothing but a Nightwing on the outside from Valkyria.
Yeah.
Which resulted in a very close 9 count for both of them. Right?
Yeah.
And of course, none of them had the advantage, and near the end of the match, I mean, this was like back and forth for most of it. No one had the advantage for very long. But, the end of the match came after both of them were trading roll-ups with Lynch actually getting the freaking 3 count on Valkyria while holding onto the tights to win the championship. Well, heel tactic. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then afterwards, Valkyria raised freaking Lynch's hand, but Lynch pushed the issue. had Valkyria raise her hand once again and walk around the ring on each side, posing and everything like that. And then freaking Lynch got a little bit cocky, saying, "Put the championship around my waist, bitch." Well, she didn't say bitch, but you might as well have said that, right?
Yeah.
So Lyra Valkyria reluctantly put the Women's Intercontinental Championship around Lynch's waist while she was posing, only for Valkyria to freaking just suplex Lynch right out of her boots, and then hit Lynch with a freaking another Nightwing to lay her out in the middle of the ring.
Yeah, but like I said, I called it that Lyra Valkyria was talking so much shit that she was gonna fucking lose. And what happens? She lost.
So with
She
this,
should have started talking shit.
So with this tells me that obviously this rivalry ain't over. So not counting their NXT battle that they had, both women are 1-for-1 on pay-per-view. Not counting their NXT battle years ago. A couple years back.
Yeah, but she still talked so much fucking shit. Even prior to the freaking pay-per-view, she was talking shit. And I even said to everyone, well, Lyra's talking so much shit that she can't back it up. And what happened? She couldn't back it up.
And
you all doubted my word.
I even... No. I said that this rivalry may end with Becky Lynch as the Women's Intercontinental Champion. So... And does Becky Lynch really need this Intercontinental Championship? No, not really. But, with the main event star she is, she may help elevate this title as an important championship. But, yeah, your thoughts from this match, bell to bell.
It was a good match.
Yeah.
Valkyria probably had a plan, but everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Exactly. Ain't that how the old saying goes?
And Becky Lynch literally punched her in the mouth.
So yeah, I thought this was a good scrap of a match. And do I think the right person won? Yeah, because at least that tells me their feud is continuing. Probably in the Night of Champions or SummerSlam or something. Right? So don't be surprised. If we talk about a third encounter between the two at some point in the near future. Right?
Yeah.
And yeah, and here we go to my personal favorite match of the night, and that was the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Up next, and this one featured
because your boy Seth Rollins and El Grande Americano were there.
No. This match saw Seth Rollins, versus Penta versus your boy El Grande Americano.
Oh, it's your El Grande Americano or Chad Gable with a Fox teeth for trying to fool with a mask.
Versus Andrade versus Solo Sikoa versus LA Knight. And yeah, this was Chad Gable wrestling twice on the same night. We all know he's really El Grande Americano. And Stephanie Vaquer don't even get her props for this. She wrestled twice on the same night too. On the same day as well, when she did her Money in the Bank ladder match.
She had 3 matches.
Well, she had a match on SmackDown.
Friday night.
And then she had a tag match at AAA, and then the Money in the Bank ladder match. All within
3 matches within the span of 24 hours.
Yeah, I know. We didn't even mention that, talking about the women's match. We should have, but I just remembered that piece of information. And they were taking on Andrade, Solo Sikoa, and LA Knight in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. LA Knight was the fan favorite by a long shot in this one.
Well, he is from LA.
And this one was obviously wild too and out of control, like what you would expect in a Money in the Bank ladder match. Of course, early on, I thought a good spot was LA Knight performing that elbow drop onto Solo Sikoa onto a ladder. Who was on a ladder? That looked like it hurt.
Yeah.
And didn't at one time, also at one point, freaking Americano applied that ankle lock onto Seth Rollins, who was on a ladder? And then Andrade
Yes.
came up and then performed a sunset bomb on Americano. Right?
Yes.
So, yeah, I thought that was a good spot. Oh, yeah, and there was a bridge ladder again, because typically you can't have a Money in the Bank ladder match without a bridge ladder spot, apparently, these days. And then Penta then performed the Mexican Destroyer on Andrade onto the bridge ladder, taking him out.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, okay, that was a pretty good inventive spot. That hurts both of them, though. Yeah, and then Americano came back, performed a superplex on the Penta off the ladder. Right?
Yeah.
And then the sponsor of the night, freaking Americano, retrieved a Fireball sponsored ladder and struck Penta with it. That ladder was tall and more stable. Right?
Yes.
So you attacked Penta, Souls Go, and Knight, and Rollins with it, doing the airplane spin with the ladder. Shades of the late great Terry Funk, who used to do the same thing. From what I saw there. Yeah, and then Rollins was down. Rollins was down along with everybody else. And Knight, Penta, and Andrade were were fighting over the briefcase. And that's when Rollins' boys, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, got involved on Rollins' behalf in this one. Or at least attempted to get involved. They took out the rest of the field, and they were about to go and attack Solo Sikoa on the outside, only for Solo Sikoa's teammates, U.S. champion Jacob Fatu and JC Mateo, coming out to aid Sikoa and battle Rollins' teammates.
Someone else knows him as Jeff Cobb.
Jason Mateo, Jeff Cobb, same person, right?
Yes.
But Breaker was fighting back. He ended up spearing Jeff Cobb or JC Mateo through the freaking timekeeper area. But back in the ring, Jacob Fatu was freaking cleaning house, giving an opportunity for Solo Sikoa to climb the ladder and retrieve the briefcase, even yelling out, "I love you, Solo!" Right? And when freaking Solo was climbing the ladder and was about to retrieve the briefcase, Jacob just grabs Solo's feet and looks at him and goes, "I hate you!" And he attacks Solo Sikoa and performed and friggin' slammed friggin' Solo right through the table. Or not right through the table, it was right through a freaking ladder bridge that was on the outside of the ring.
He gave him the spinning Solo.
Onto Solo. Right?
So you could say Solo got hit by Solo?
Yeah, right through a ladder bridge on the outside of the ring. And I'm just like...
Well, you also forgot the spot that El Grande Americano literally threw down the ladder and it hit El Idolo in his El Idolo.
Yeah, okay, now you mentioned that, okay. But yeah, freaking the big talk of the night was freaking Jacob Fatu freaking turning on Solo Sikoa, and I've seen this coming for weeks. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Especially with Solo Sikoa talking shit behind Jacob Fatu's back, calling him dumb, calling him stupid, calling him vulnerable, and everything else. And then they've seen Jacob Fatu just in the background, just listening in through a doorway like, I'll remember that. Right?
Yeah. Well, like I said, Jacob Fatu did not need Solo.
And the match ended with...
Jacob Fatu was a superstar way before fucking Solo.
Yeah, and the end of the match came when Rollins got back into it. Started climbing the ladder only for LA Knight to come back in the ring, try to beat down Rollins, but Rollins got the advantage by reversing a blunt force trauma into a curve stomp, taking LA Knight out before climbing up the ladder and retrieving the briefcase, becoming a two-time Money in the Bank holder in the process.
Yeah, after having his butt buddies, Braun Breaker and freaking
Bronson Reed
come out to help him because he was like literally him and Logan Paul. No, him and Paul Heyman a little yell, come out here, come out here. And what happens? Butt buddies appear.
Sheesh. But yeah, this is a big deal because not only does this mark Seth Rollins being a 2-time Money in the Bank winner, this also means that Seth Rollins is the, I believe, second person to win the Money in the Bank ladder match and get his second briefcase that way after CM Punk did it.
And surprisingly, he did not cash in on the same night.
Watch, he'll cash in during the main event of WrestleMania 42.
Or Monday Night Raw.
And yes, the only two winners of the Money in the Bank ladder match that I can recall is CM Punk and Seth Rollins, who won their second Money in the Bank briefcase in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Edge and freaking The Miz won their second Money in the Bank in freaking goddamn singles matches.
Kane.
Yeah. But anyway, what did you think about this freaking ladder match, or the men's Money in the Bank with Rollins winning it for a second time?
Three people should not have been in there.
I know, Americano shouldn't have been in there. That should have been either freaking Styles or Punk. But Americano got lucky with that triple threat match win, thanks to interference.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about Americano, but that's four. But it literally should, freaking Seth Rollins' butt buddy should not have gone in there, and neither should have fucking Jeff Cobb or Jason whatever.
Or Jay-Z, and then you had... Yeah, but the big talk of the night coming out of this one was not only Seth Rollins winning, but it was
Jacob Fatu was going to turn on him one way or the other.
Jacob Fatu's interference kind of made sense due to their story they got going on, so
yeah,
can't fault them for that. Which I believe that resulted in Sosako and Jacob Fatu actually facing off against each other for that U.S. title.
Probably.
At some point in the near future. And we'll be talking about that one when it happens. If it happens on pay-per-view, which more than likely it will, or premium live event. I still call it pay-per-view. Call me old school. All right?
I'll call you old fart.
You're older than me, bitch.
Yeah, but you're still an old fart.
I don't even get why they call these premium live events. You still got to pay the Peacock subscription service or however you watch this.
It's not called premium events. It's called PLEs.
Yeah, premium live events. I still got pay-per-views because you still got to pay for the streaming service to watch these shows. So,
unless you pirate it.
Which I know some people have. But anyway, after the match, I believe this is when they did the announcement for WrestleMania 42, because originally it was supposed to be in New Orleans, but later on later on it was confirmed that it will not be in New Orleans, and then they did the announcement that on April 18th and 19th of next year, WrestleMania 42 will be taking place in Las Vegas again for a second year in a row.
Because Vegas literally broke the WrestleMania record.
And I'm just like, wow, can't wait to not be able to afford to go there.
I'm going to try to save money and go there.
Ugh. But yeah, I'm just like, wow, okay, WrestleMania's in Vegas again next year.
I missed this year, and I don't want to miss next year.
But anyway,
but if not, I'll just watch it on Peacock. It don't fucking matter anyways.
Yep. Anyway, now we get to the main event of this show, which saw Cody Rhodes wrestling.
Your boy, Logan Paul.
No. It was freaking Cody Rhodes in his first match since WrestleMania, teaming up with world champion Jey Uso against the team called You Can't See Shit. aka John
No,
Cena,
'cause he was
and
there.
your boy Logan Paul.
Yeah.
We all know you love Logan Paul and all of his primey goodness.
Thank goodness that you love to suck and shove up your own butt. Because you like the taste of ass.
I mean, hell, you're the one who keeps sending me those friggin' wall of primes you see at the store. You must friggin' buy all them cases.
No, it's because you like them. And I bet that you went down to the Dollar General from your house and literally bought 3 for $5 for Prime.
I think I would rather much be staring at dog shit in my backyard than drink Prime, but that's just me. We all know you're the one who fucking bought all them Prime bottles.
Nope.
That you pointed out to me the other day.
No. I will never, ever drink Prime.
Don't let him lie to you. He was probably swinging on a Prime during Logan Paul's entrance.
Nope. That was you.
Yeah, but anyway, after all the entrances and introductions were done, including Logan Paul's entrance where he just had to freaking like catch a drone and set on the Prime station, I'm like, yeah, that's shit. Right?
No, they didn't catch it. It was his pet.
Yep. But anyway, the match started off with Cena and Cody Rhodes as a legal man, only for Cena to tag out to Logan Paul, only for Logan Paul to tag out immediately. So that's how this match started.
Mind games, bitch.
And I'm just like, wow. And you know, Logan Paul and I really hate to say this, but Logan Paul and John Cena were actually freaking taking control over freaking Jey Uso until Jey Uso got the hot tag, but there was a lot of dissension between Cena and Paul, which allowed Uso and Rhodes to gain the advantage in the match when they were sitting there arguing with each other about halfway through, right?
Yeah. John Cena saying, I'm literally trying to teach you, and friggin' Logan Paul being a smart ass and, then teach me something.
And I'm just like, wow. Bickering will be the villain's biggest downfall here. And of course, later on when freaking Cody Rhodes had John Cena down and out, Logan Paul was trying to hit a springboard splash onto freaking Cody Rhodes, but Rhodes got out of the way and he nailed Cena instead, which I found kind of funny, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, which allowed freaking Rhodes to get the upper hand by suplexing Logan Paul, followed by an Uso splash onto Logan Paul. And the whole time, Logan Paul was actually holding a freaking his damn drone, so you can see it from his perspective of the moves being done to him, with a superplex off the top rope plus the freaking Uso splash, right?
Yeah.
Which I really hate to give Logan Paul credit, but I found that comical. Does that make me a bad person? No. Right?
Yes. It shows that you love Logan Paul and that you want me to give you Logan Paul merch. Okay.
You give me Logan Paul merch, I'll be like, thank you. I needed something to clean the dog shit off my floors.
Oh, so you'd give it to your roommate. Okay.
I'll be like, here, you need this more than me. Wait, what? But anyway, a little bit later on, near the end of the match, there was a brawl between Cena and Jey Uso on the outside, which resulted in Cena clearing off the two announce tables, because you can't have a pay-per-view without the announce tables getting messed up in one way or another, apparently. Right?
Yeah.
And then Cena was going for an attitude or an FU on the freaking, like,
Cody
Rhodes until Jey Uso came with a spear on the freaking Cena and the table did not break. Right?
Yeah, and then freaking Logan Paul hit the fucking moonsault.
Springboard moonsault on the Uso through the announce tables, and the announce table broke at that point.
Yes.
Right? So yeah, and the ref So yeah, Logan Paul and Uso were out of commission for the rest of the match following that announce table breaking, which meant the only two men left in the match were Rhodes and
Cena.
freaking Cena. And I believe at this point the referee was out tending to Logan Paul and Uso on the outside, so we couldn't see nothing.
Yeah, no, he was out there attending to to Jay and Logan,
Making sure they
and
were all
John
right.
Cena had the title, and of
And
course,
Cena,
Michael Cole, being a snitched.
yeah, and then Cena grabbed the WWE Championship, like you said, and he was going to intend to hit, and he hit freaking Rhodes in the head with it. But before Cena could actually take the advantage and and either do some more damage to freaking Cody Rhodes here, freaking a man wearing it's like a hooded figure, a person wearing a freaking hood sweatshirt and sweatpants came in the ring, attacked John Cena with the WWE Championship, knocking him out. And this masked figure revealed himself to be Ron Killings, formerly known as R-Truth, who actually returned after being released literally a week ago.
72 hours.
Yeah.
So 3 days.
And after the reveals, Truth would nail Cena with the WWE Championship, letting freaking Rhodes take advantage and nailing a crossroads to Cena to get the pinfall win. So thus, Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes won this tag match. So yeah. And Cena got a taste of his own medicine. So your thoughts on this tag match?
It was decent.
Honestly, when it comes to non-Money in the Bank matches, this one to me was the best match of the night.
Could it have been better? Yes.
Was it what it needed to be? Yes. Did Ron Killings or R-Truth get a big pop when he returned? Yes.
Did they kill off the little Jimmy R-Truth character? Yes. Did they bring back R-Truth as his real name and gonna probably use him like they did in TNA? Most likely.
As a serious character who don't take shit from nobody.
And who fucking called it? Me.
And yeah, I've been watching Ron Killings' freaking work in TNA recently, and even I was like, WWE needs to bring this guy to the company, needs to have R-Truth be this guy.
Yeah, but who literally called they may get rid of the little Jimmy R-Truth character, how they like portrayed him like little Jimmy took over, because they were literally saying that R-Truth was saying, oh, I'm John Cena. John Cena is my childhood hero, and even John. In what reality am I his childhood hero when he's older than me?
I think, yeah, Joe, I think freaking, yeah, I mean, the context in that sense doesn't really make any sense. I mean, Cena's in his late 40s. R-Truth is in his like mid to late 50s. Even though Ron Killings looks like he's in his 30s, he's really in his 50s.
Yeah, like the old saying goes, black don't crack.
Apparently, in this case, freaking Ron Killings doesn't age.
He's immortal.
So, yeah, I thought the match was a great match. I think it was a great way to end the show and leave everyone on a great high note. On a feel-good high note, right?
So, yeah, if they're going to utilize him correctly, like I think they're going to, this is going to be one hell of a fucking Ron Killings moment.
I mean, there's a lot of people online right now saying that freaking Ron Killings should be the one to end John Cena's WWE Championship reign.
Most likely going to happen if they're going to utilize him correctly.
Now, to me, I feel like that's a far stretch, but to me, if Cena's going to retain the title, they should at least make Ron Killings look like a credible threat and put Cena through the limits here.
That's why I'm saying if they utilize him correctly, then yes.
Because let's not forget, we're talking about the Ron Killings, who's a former NWA World Champion and can actually fight in the main events. You can give him the chance. So,
multi-time tag team champion, multi-time NWA tag team champion, multi-time NWA heavyweight champion.
Or Ron Killings, right?
54-time 24/7 European championship.
Former hardcore champion as well.
Yes.
So it's like,
When he was kicked.
So it's like, this should be kind of interesting going forward now with Ron Killings and John Cena, right?
Yes.
But anyway, that's all just speculation for the future. But now we go to our favorite part of the review, like I always say, and that's our rating system. So, Naomi winning the women's Money in the Bank ladder match this year, I gave it 4.5 out of 5.
I give it 5 out of 5 because it was actually really good.
Yep. The Trash Can Dominic Mysterio defeating Octagon Jr. to retain the Intercontinental Championship. I only gave that one 2.5 out of 5.
0, but if I have to, I give for the superstar for the first time for a rating, Octagon Jr. 5 out of 5.
Match a 0. Becky Lynch defeating Lyra Valkyria to win the.
I'm going to give it a point, a 1.5.
Okay. Becky Lynch defeating Lyra Valkyria to win the Women's Intercontinental Championship. I also gave that one 4.5 out of 5.
I'd say 4.
Yeah. Seth Rollins winning this year's men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Easy 5 out of 5.
Yeah, yes, 5 out of 5. Only for the Jacob Fatu fucking betraying Solo, which I knew it was going to happen.
And of course, the main event with Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso defeating John Cena and Logan Paul. I gave that one 5 out of 5.
Four and a half.
And, my personal final grade for Money in the Bank 2025 is an A-. The minus
hit and run tactic for Ron the Truth Killings, 5 out of 5.
Yep. Well, like I said, my final grade for this show my personal final grade is an A-. The weakest match on the card is the obviously Dominic Mysterio Octagon Jr. match.
I say A. It wasn't really A-. It was in the A- territory, but I just say A.
So yeah, anyway, the matches I would recommend for this one would probably be either the men or women's Money in the Bank ladder match, and of course the tag team main event. So yeah, that's just my recommendations for this show. So yeah, that was our review for Money in the Bank 2025. So the ball is in your court now. What classic pay-per-view are we going to be reviewing later on this week? I hate to ask. I don't like that freaking evil laugh.
It is SummerSlam.
Oh, God, of what year?
04.
You son of a bitch. The only positive takeaway is that from SummerSlam 04 is that freaking Randy Orton became the youngest world champion. All the other stuff on there was ass. Now let's see here. SummerSlam 04, we have an underwhelming WWE title match between Taker and JBL. The aforementioned world title match with Orton and Benoit. Oh, God, we got freaking Triple H freaking beating the hell out of Eugene. Yeah, that's going to be fun to review. And God, no, you're going to make me review the Kane and Matt Hardy situation. That storyline sucked. You piece of shit. If there's one thing.
Undertaker versus JBL. Chris Jericho versus Edge versus Batista. And then Kane versus Matt Hardy.
That storyline sucked. That storyline was cringe. I don't know what was worse, that storyline or the Katie Vick storyline, both involving Kane. God damn.
Well, it also gave us the, it was not my fault.
Jesus, we don't need to freaking... God damn, I hate you. And if there's one thing that crappy storyline taught us, it was like, yes, and even through the power of grape, even you can be beloved. No, that's not how it works. Ugh. Oh, God, Lord, help me for this next week. I'm going to get you back, you son of a bitch. I'm going to get you back. Make me review a crappy SummerSlam. I'll get you back. I just need to think about it afterwards.
I warned you.
So, yeah, bitch, be afraid. Be very afraid of my next pick.
Oh, you tried to make me watch a crappy one. You be afraid.
You started it with the whole for SummerSlam show again. So, anyway, until then, hey,
no, my next pick could be a shitty Night of Champions.
Yeah, no controversy there. If it's the one that I'm thinking of.
There was multiple ones that had no controversy.
Oh, God. Anyway, yeah, until then, we will talk to y'all later. Lord help me with this one. Peace.
No, it's not Lord help you, it's Satan help you.
God help me with this motherfucker. Anyway, we'll talk to y'all later. Peace.
Deuces.